Did you do a video of that?
We're doing a video right now.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Okay, Chris, here's your before and after, right? And we'll maybe make the pressure map a little bit larger so we can see what's going on, right? So the first thing we talked about was the hands, right? We've got to keep the right palm against the left thumb, right? That's a pressure point. Big, that's huge. You want to have control of the club. You want to be able to navigate the ball around the course. So therefore, you've got to have control of the club, right? You want to be in a good position at impact. You've got to control the club. So that's a pressure point, and all it is keeping the pat or the lifeline of your right hand against your left thumb. So that's why I put a little dot on your left thumb there and just said cover it, right? Keep your hand on it. So when you did that, you still kind of bring it off there, but we're more working on the step drill, right? But that's certainly the first thing. Then as we start to come down, right, you can see how as the club's starting to move down, there's just not enough weight shift, right? There's just not enough pushing down in that lead foot. You don't actually get the bias on the lead foot until now, maybe just a few inches before impact, right? The chart that we really worked from was this one. So that little peak in that white line where it's peaking upwards there, right? That white line, that white peak is when you push down in the lead foot the most, right? So you're not pushing down in the lead foot the most until impact, right? So if we do that, whoops, so you're there. Now if we do this, you're pushing down in your lead foot the most there, right? So you see how it's peaked up,
Yep.
right? So when we move them back to the pressure map, you can see how just by adopting this step drill, right, you start the swing, right, you start normal, you step over the stick, you start moving the club. When the club gets to about waist height, you start stepping. You want to step and squash the tomato before the club starts down. So you can see how that white dot, the centre of pressure, is already on your left side, right? 59% on your left foot before the club started down. You've got to try and get that feeling in your swing. And then obviously as you start down, look at the centre of pressure, the white dot moves more forward, more forward, more forward. So, you know, halfway down there, when your left arm's parallel with the ground, you're 96% on your lead foot, whereas before, halfway down, let's say there, you're 71% on your back foot. So the majority of the pressure is on your back foot, whereas now with that little step drill getting you moving dynamically a little bit more, all the pressure's on your lead foot, which is exactly what we're after. Exactly what we're after. Hips have moved more forward. We've got more pressure on the left foot at impact, as opposed to impact there, right? So there's your couple of lessons for today, right? Number one is keeping the hand, keeping your right palm on your left thumb, right? As we kind of got into the end of the lesson, we spoke about the pinching under your arms, why that's important for the connection, right? So when you're setting up to it, you could think of, right, got to get the hands on properly, get the right hand over the dot, but in the same time, just feel a little bit of pressure underneath your armpit, right? And just maintain that pressure under the armpits through the whole swing. Mm-hmm. Once you've done that, now it's all about sort of stepping into it, the feeling of stepping into it, squashing that tomato under that left foot there, right? Just as you start down, squash it, squash it, squash it. You see your old swing. There was not enough squashing, not enough bias on the lead foot. Mm-hmm. Make sense?
Makes sense.